back for another Talk About It Tuesday. And this question is based on a meme that had been circulating around the internet. You've probably seen it. So listen to this. If you had to choose between an 800 credit score and $100,000, which would you choose and why? So before I answer the question, and there is no right or wrong answer, it's really based on your circumstances and how you would utilize each one. But let me just make sure everybody has a clear understanding of what credit is, what money is, and what a credit score is, and what it can do for you. So, credit is basically an understanding, right? So, that you will pay later for a debt on borrowed money or access to goods or services. Money is a medium of exchange. So that medium of exchange will ultimately have to be used to pay on credit. What is a credit score? A credit score is an indicator to lenders, to landlords, to retailers, to insurance companies, to other financial institutions that you are likely or how likely you are to pay your debts. And the FICO score ranges from 300 to 850. The average credit score is 704. What is considered a bad credit score is below 670. 800 is considered exceptional. So what can an 800 credit score get you? It is more likely to show creditors that you can pay, so they will offer you lower interest rates if you qualify for a loan. It will help you qualify for all those things we talked about earlier: insurance, an apartment, a mortgage, other loans. It will help you qualify, but it is not the only factor in deciding whether or not someone grants you what you were looking for. There are other factors. The ability to pay, meaning how much income you have. It could be how much savings you have, how many other assets you have, how much other debt you are carrying in relation to the income that you have. And so an 800 credit score by itself, it shows that you're likely to pay if you had the ability, but it doesn't afford you anything. Anything. If you had other factors already there, it can gain you access, more likely access, and get you a lower a lower interest rate. So let's talk about this $100,000. $100,000 in cash. Now we're assuming you have $100,000 cash and you have a poor credit score, meaning it's below 670, because otherwise it wouldn't matter. Because if you have 680, 700, 704 like the average, and you have 100,000, you will have access to probably more than somebody who has just 800, right? So if I have $100,000 in cash, I can easily get my score up to 800. One, I can borrow at least $100,000 because I can use the $100,000 as collateral. I can sit it in a bank account, say I have $100,000 there, where you lend me $100,000 secured by the $100,000 that I already have. That's more than you can do with an 800 credit score if you can't show you can pay back $100,000. I could, if my goal was just to get my credit score up, I could get secured cards if my credit score was bad with the $100,000 and use them and pay as per agreed because they're secured cards and raise my credit score. I could also raise my credit score if I needed to with the $100,000 by paying off the debt that is lowering my credit score, which again would organically raise my credit score because it shows I'm paying as per agreed. If I didn't need to borrow money because I have $100,000 in cash, I could invest that $100,000 in cash, which would make that $100,000 turn into more. There's so much more, in my opinion, that I could do with $100,000 in cash than just having an 800 credit score in isolation. Now, the optimal thing would be if you had $100,000 cash and you had an 800 credit score, then you can really pull some things off. So for me, if I had to make a choice between an 800 credit score with no cash and $100,000 in cash and poor credit, I would definitely take the $100,000 in cash. But I'd love to hear what you would do and why. So put it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Keep the questions coming. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next Tuesday.